Welcome everyone. This is Changing Lives.
Power
Power
couple.
Couple. It's a pleasure to be with you again today. We feel like it's a very beautiful day today, a very pleasant day, and we would like to share with you on the topic of forgiveness because this is one major thing in a relationship, if either friendship or married couple or family. It's a really major topic to people to deal with, and today we feel the need to come and to share with you on that topic how us we've been dealing with some of heavy situation, but without forgiveness we won't be here today to talk about forgiveness and to share with you on that topic. And it's important for you to listen. We got some stuff in stock for you, and my wife will share with you today. What you got for us today, baby?
Well, welcome to everyone. Today we want to talk to you, like my husband said, about forgiveness in a marriage or in a relationship. I think in every area of your relationship, you're always gonna find somebody that hurt you, or you're always gonna find some kind of resentment. But if you're not able to forgive, you won't be able to hold on to relationship. So with like you said, we've been through a lot of situation where for example, where my husband left me, and not for one time but two or three times. so we had to I definitely had to find forgiveness in order for me to get back into the marriage, because in life you cannot just give up on things that's important to you. And I think our marriage was very important to me, just as it was important to him. But things that happen throughout the relationship caused him to leave and not being able to deal with those situations, and that got us to be separated multiple times. So I had to find, of course, when that happened, you as the person that stay still there, you of course you're hurt. So therefore, and that hurt, it brings like a lot of resentment, it brings a lot of anger. So you definitely have to find your way to whether you want to stay mad or you want to forgive. So while we're talking about forgiveness, I want to make sure that we say that forgiveness is not saying that you forget. It's not saying that you forget what somebody has done to you. Forgiveness is definitely a decision that you make for yourself. You just feel like, listen, being angry, it's not gonna result to anything. So, and then when you really angry, you really angry at yourself, because a lot of people deal with anger differently. Some people get mad, they physically react, or they emotionally go down. So therefore, when you don't forgive, you're really hurting yourself. So I got to the point of, you know what, do I want to stay angry all the time, or do I want to, move on and try to forgive in the situation? And I think a lot of people, like I said, seems to think like forgiveness is like, oh, you saying like you forget what the person did, but that's not what it is. It just means like I decided I'm not gonna stay angry, I'm not gonna stay mad, I'm gonna do my best to move on. And So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the three different steps of forgiveness. For me, was to first of all, number one, you have to find out what you angry about. What's the situation that got you so angry, and then the second, you have to make that decision to forgive, and then the third, you have to actually work on how to forgive. And I think that's why we end up getting back together.
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Like, what is it exactly forgiveness it's about? Like, if we wanna give like a definition, if we wanna share with our audience, about like forgiveness, what is it exactly?
Well, it's like I say, it's a conscious decision that you have to make. You have to look at yourself and be. Of course, when somebody hurt you, you're angry. That's your first reaction. That's a human reaction. That's the normal reaction. If you then get angry, that means you're not a person. Of course, when somebody hurt you, you're gonna get angry. But once you move past the anger, to me, it was kind of like looking at myself in a mirror, and I start to say, what could I have done differently? To make things better, or did I had any role in the situation why the person feel like okay, they couldn't deal with it anymore, they had to walk away.
This is a good point. Because a lot of people sometimes they always think like they are the perfect one, they are the right one, like the other person
Is the bad one.
is the bad one.
Especially when it's that person that decide to walk away. It doesn't mean that the person is the bad one. It just means that the person may not be strong enough to deal with that situation, and they feel like the best way they could deal with it is about walking away.
So you mean I was not strong enough to deal with the
Well,
situation?
well, I believe that you are a strong man, but at the same time, again, what that got me thinking is that first of all, when you start to when after you decide to forgive, then you start to work on your forgiveness. What you will start to do is you start thinking about, okay, you start looking at the person view of the person point of view. Then you start to say, okay, what let me put myself in that person's shoe. Then I start to look at the fact that we was not raised the same way. We did not grow up in the same environment, and and all kind of different things. It's not like you're making excuses for the person, but you really gotta look back at from the story that the person told you about their life, how they grew up, where they grew up, what happened in their family. You start to look at those things, and you're like, what, that could be why the person is not as strong as you to stay and work on the relationship instead of running away. And to me, it's like when you left the first time, I started to look at myself in the mirror and say, you know what? Oh, because I did think I was perfect. I thought I was the perfect wife. I thought I was doing everything right. I thought everything I was doing was great. But then when you left, of course, after I get over the anger, I start to think about, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? And I start to look at myself and start to say, what, there was some things I could have done different, and there are some ways I could have do things to make a relationship better. Definitely.
Great. Great. Then, without hesitation, we're gonna talk to our audience because you said the 3 points.
Yeah.
So we're gonna share with you on the 3 points. Yeah.
Yeah. The first is, like I said, is to discover why you anger. Why you angry. What makes you upset? What did the person do to make you so angry? And identify that, give you a better chance of resolving it. Because a lot of time we're angry for things that happened to us when we was little, or when we was in school, or when we was at work, or something. But then we tend to bring it into the relationship as if it was that person's fault. but we gotta really identify what we're angry about, and then move to, because I remember a lot of the things that I was angry about in our relationship, and I used to feel I take it out on you, had nothing to do with really you. It had to do with my own personal issue. Being growing up, my dad died at a very young age, and that relationship I had with him was so loving and so caring, and not having that and have to really like take care of myself. In a very, like, you have a lot of reason why you're angry, and then when you get into the relationship, you kind of like bring it in to the relationship and make it seem like it's the person's fault, but it's really not. It's your own underlying issues that you never deal with, and you bring it into the relationship. That's the first step, is to uncover what are you upset about. And the second is to make a conscious decision to say, you know what, that's not a good way to live. I want to forgive. I want to let go of some of the hurt, or some of the things that didn't make me happy. And then the third one, of course, is to work on your forgiveness, because you're not going to just pray your way out of it. A lot of people, like, we are believers, but we don't believe everything is about prayer. Some things that you yourself have to make that decision.
And how we gonna work on our forgiveness? How we end up working on ours? I don't remember.
Well, for me, like, working on your forgiveness is simply mean like I said, looking at the other person point of view. You kind of like start thinking just me. I'm perfect. I'm great. I can't believe that person doesn't, worship the ground I walked on, and kind of look at the situation from the other person point of view, and sort of like, oh, okay, I could have done this differently, because like I said, I thought I was a perfect wife, until I'm like, no, but I don't do this, I don't do that, and I don't listen, I don't do a lot of different things. And then when you start to really look at yourself and thinking that, okay, you are not perfect also, then you can have compassion to the other person, and start to say, you know what, maybe that person was dealing with a situation, especially if the person is not an abusive physically or emotionally abusing you. It's just like, misunderstanding, where we cannot understand each other. Then it's easier to work on that. It's not something, even if it was something like physical or something emotional that was abusive to a person. Again, it's still up to that person to forgive. You can forgive and not stay in that relationship, but you can still decide to forgive, because that decision is up to you. To don't want to stay anger, and just don't want to stay with that hate.
Oh,
You don't want to stay like that. It's up to you. It's really up to you.
great. So, with all you're saying, to me, it seems like in the relationship, you know, if there is misunderstanding, you know, if there is miscommunication, I guess it's easier for the couple or for the friendship, to end up get to situation where where one or another not gonna understand each other, because there is what we call misunderstanding,
Yeah.
and that can cause the separation.
Of course, a
And
lot a lot of things that happen is basically miscommunication. Yeah.
miscommunication. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, because communication in the relationship, I guess,
Is the
that's
key.
the key.
Yes. Yes.
That's the key. So today, guys, that's all we were trying to to bring to you, because right now, if me and my wife we sitting like that and talking to you guys, sharing with you with our beautiful smile right now, it's because we understand. We had a lot of misunderstanding, like my wife was saying, not listen, doing your own thing, thinking, differently. And in a relationship, in a marriage, it's one way. It's my way and your way we put together, and that become one,
Always. That
yeah,
become always.
always.
Yeah.
You know, without this, we always gonna have problem. We always gonna have situation where the man or the women gonna leave. Okay, so it's really really important, you know, before these things happen. We have a saying in our country, because we are Haitian, that saying, don't let the goat get in, and then you're gonna call to close the gate.
Right, right, right. So
You know?
that's exactly what we're trying to do. Try to help you guys to prevent some of the mistakes that we have made, because we wish we had somebody that tell us about that prior to our situation. But over the years, after a separation, I started to listen to some powerful women, and I start to understand some of the stuff they were saying, and I start to put them into application. Again, that's the part of working on your forgiveness. It takes about 6 to 7 months, the last time we were separated, for us to get back together, because I didn't want to get back together just because I needed him or I wanted him, but I wanted him to come back because he felt like he couldn't live without me. Because the reason why, because if you feel like, okay, you cannot live without the person, then you can overcome any situation. You understand? But if it's like, oh, it doesn't matter, then it's easy to walk away and keep walking away. But once you feel what you want, once you get to a situation like, okay, I love that person. Well, yeah, we just have differences, and the way we understand things or the way we do things, then these things we can work out. We can work them out. So again, forgiveness is the key, guys, because you're always gonna get offended in a marriage. You're always gonna get offended in any kind of relationship, whether it's family, friends, with your own child. Like we have 4 children. Sometimes even my own children, they offended me, but you have to be able to forgive them, because it's just miscommunication. They don't understand what you're trying to tell them. Sometimes they come across as if you're trying to control, or sometimes it come across as if you just don't want to let them be. But it's misunderstanding, because they don't understand how it's all coming from love. And that's why you get that kind of relationship. So you get that kind of situation where you're gonna be offended, you're gonna be hurt, but you have to be able to say, you know what, we are human. He's a human. You are human. Sometimes you offend him in a relationship. Sometimes you offend your children, and they forgive you and move on. But sometimes we feel like, oh, we cannot forgive that person because they did something, or they say something that you didn't like, you was not happy with. But if you don't forgive, then how can somebody else forgive you? And even if we were to go quote the Bible, even the Bible tells us, you have to forgive, and in the Lord prayer, forgive those as that you would want God to forgive you. If you're not willing to do that, then God not gonna forgive you, and other people not gonna forgive you, because me myself, I offend him plenty of time, and he forgive me. I remember one of the things when we first got married, you used to say, baby, just like you used to always say, every time I would do something to my husband, and he would be like, I would say sorry, and he would be like, I already forgive you. That was really like a big thing for me, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, before I even committed the offense, he already had forgiven me, because he already had that mentality of forgiveness. Yeah.
Great. One other thing I would like to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys listen to Dr. Monroe, and there is plenty of other author,
Oh yeah.
who's talk about that. They saying like a relationship, it's like a house. It's like a house that you have.
Yeah.
If a light bulb, it's not working, a
Right.
light bulb, messed up,
Yeah.
you're not gonna sell the house
Of course not.
for that.
No.
What you're gonna do, you're gonna go to the store and buy another
Light
light
bulb,
bulb.
definitely.
And then another example we can give to the people, to the our beautiful lovely people, is look at the tongue.
Yeah.
Simple example, look at the tongue and the teeth.
Yeah.
They cannot live without each other. Without you, I'm nothing. Without me, you are nothing. We are
Right.
a complementary of each other.
Okay,
So
amen.
that means if there is no forgiveness, how we gonna be able to make it? We're
No.
not gonna make it.
Forgiveness is the key.
Forgiveness is
As
the
we
key.
want others to forgive us, as we want the Lord to forgive us, that's the same way we have to be the kind of people that wants to forgive others. But the key is the people, as long when you offend someone, have the courage, have the strength to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I've done this to you, or I hurt you, and then the person can forgive. Because a lot of people just like, oh, thinking like, oh, you're just gonna forgive. But if you don't ask for forgiveness, it's hard for the person to even think or know that you are sorry about what you have done. My motto always been like, once you say sorry to me, it's like it's over, it's done. But when you don't say anything, that just shows me that you don't care enough about the relationship, or you don't care enough about the friendship, or the sisterhood, whatever relationship that we are in. It's like, to me, when you do something to someone, you hurt someone, and you don't say sorry to that person, it's like you don't care enough about that person to even say sorry. But then you expect the person to forgive you. Of course, I'm always gonna forgive, because that I don't want the anger. I don't want the anger to stay in me. I'm gonna forgive you regardless whether you say sorry or not. But it'd be better if you say sorry, then the person can literally understand that, okay, they understand what they done. They know that they hurt me, and they saying sorry. You understand? So we just encourage you guys to live in forgiveness, because we all hurt each other. And there's a saying that says, hurt people hurt people. So if we are broken, we're gonna hurt other people. But if we dealing with, because sometimes, a lot of time, we hurt people, it has nothing to do with the person. It has a lot to do with yourself, because you're hurting, because you're going through something, you dealing with a situation, and then you take it out on the other person, but it really has nothing to do with the other person.
One other thing, guys, I wanna share with you before we leave you alone. It's like when you don't forgive, it's like you become a slave
Oh
of the
yeah,
other person. I
definitely.
don't know if you guys never been to that
Oh, you
situation,
definitely
right?
become a slave.
Yeah.
Because you see the person living their life,
Yeah,
they're
you
not
become
thinking
so
about you.
miserable.
They're not worrying about you.
Yeah.
But then you sitting there, you have all this anger and all these things, but the person don't even know. Sometimes the person don't even know you mad at them. But it's all in your heart and all inside of you. And then you going around all upset, and then when you see the person, you have to walk a different route, or if the person is here, you want to be there. The person is not even worrying about you. So really, when you don't forgive, you're only hurting yourself.
You were prisoner. You were
Yeah.
prisoner. You were slave
You're a
of the other
slave of your
person.
own
You have fear. You have all these things.
anxiety. When
Anxiety.
your heart start pumping when you see the person,
Yeah.
because you're just not comfortable.
Yeah, miserable and all these things.
Yeah.
I remember last time, I left, and until we get to that point of forgive each other, it's like, I never be happy, like I'm,
And you
a
left
happy
you
person.
leave the area where we stay. You don't want to be able. You move far away, because you don't want to us to be
don't
walking
wanna
down the
see the
street,
person.
and then we see each other. But
Oh,
me,
man.
I'm still here. I
Forgiveness,
still
you
live in the
see.
same house, the
Yeah,
same place.
look
But
at us now.
yeah, you feel like you have to move away, because again, you feel you're not at peace.
You're not
You're
at
not
peace.
at peace.
Guys, forgiveness is the key.
Is definitely
Okay,
the key
forgiveness is the
in
key.
a marriage.
I know it's hard,
and a relationship.
Yes, it is hard for you sometimes, like, to even come and ask for forgiveness. But please, because without forgiveness, you're not gonna make it.
Again, guys.
Forgive each other, and then let's Move on.
Yes. Again, don't forget the three main keys is to uncover what are you mad about, what makes you angry, and then decide to forgive. And you have to work and on your forgiveness. It's a process. It's not gonna take one day, like the next day you wake up and you forgive the person. And sometimes you can even pray about it and still feel anger the next day. So therefore it's a process. You just gotta give yourself time, and just give yourself time, and you start looking at the person a different way. You're not making excuses for the person, but you start looking at them in a different way, and start to think maybe it was because a situation that they've been through, and that's why they feel like they gotta take it out on you, or they gotta talk down on you, they gotta say bad things about you that hurt you. And you gotta look at to that, in that way, and then you'll be able to forgive the person, and you'll feel free afterwards.
Feel free afterwards.
Yeah.
So don't forget the 3 points. Which are they? Discover your anger.
Mm-hmm.
Work on your anger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Decide to forgive.
Decide to forgive.
Uh-huh. And
work
work on your anger.
On your forgiveness.
Yeah, work on your forgiveness.
Work on your forgiveness.
Yes.
Remember these 2 keys.
Yes.
It was Changing Lives.
Power couple. Guys, don't forget to love the channel, share, so we can actually subscribe, so we can be able to go live and be able to answer some of your questions.
Oh yeah, don't hesitate to put your questions in the comment, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna come back with the answers for you. Comment, opinion, critics, everything. Okay,
Welcome.
guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. See you next time.
Next time.
Bye-bye.